Morning, it's 9 a.m. and I really want to talk about men I have been delusional about.
You ready?
Well. Where do I begin? Delusion and me, that bitch and me, we're like this. We're like best friends forever. We're like ride or die. Like I'll romanticize shit just because I am delusional. That's how me and close delusional are. So let's call her D, okay? Because she ain't giving me no D. What am I saying? I am peak productivity right now. This is me at peak, bitches. This is me at peak. So I have taken notes on my phone, okay? Like I'm not even kidding, bro. I am damn serious about that topic. Because honestly, as much as I try to make myself feel better that I am imaginative and I am creative and I'm all that, it's really not good for your mental health. It fucks you up. It fucks you up, and then you have to rewire your whole head again because that's all you can do. So let's begin, shall we? First is the confusing people, or basically people who confuse you. Let's talk about this. Who are they? They're the kinds that will lead you on to the depths of hell just because you don't know how to say no and how you don't know how to state your own boundaries and you're romanticizing their own potential. Their potential except your own. They're that kind of people. They're the kind of people who will say, yeah, I'll bring you flowers, don't worry, and then they ghost you for the next 3 days. I know you've been there, bestie. I know you have because I have been there and we both are like this. I should actually stop doing that, but like, you know what I mean. They are the kind of people who will ruin you because they're so confusing. They don't know what to do, and in turn you don't know what to do. So now you both are in a situationship that you both don't want, or maybe they want but you don't want because you want a relationship. You are a relationship girl, boy. You ain't no bitch. Actually, but like, so now that we know who our confusing people are, let's talk about how to deal with them, because we should know how to deal with people who are confusing and are not worthy of our time. First thing, you should deal with them exactly as you deal with like someone you don't like. You stop talking to them. People who are confused in their own self will confuse you, and in turn they will penetrate your mind, and not in a good way. They'll literally, and I'm serious about this, people who are confusing in their own intentions, they will make you seem crazy. They will gaslight you and they will in turn make you the crazy one. So how do you deal with that? First, base your delusion of them on the basis of their actions. For example, if someone says, I'm gonna buy you flowers, but then they ghost you, what is the action here? The ghosting, not the buying you flowers, right? So base your delusion on the fact that they ghosted you, and then in turn ghost them. Like, stop talking to them. Personally, I use this rule of like 3 strikes, and they're out, and on the basis of that I literally like talk to everyone else. For example, if someone who was talking to me told me that they bought me flowers, and then they ghosted me, I would choose that as my first strike. And when the third strike comes, I simply stop talking to them. I do not make a spectacle that, oh my god, you're such a bitch that you did not do that, and I'm typing a whole passage. I don't do that because I've done that, and then they respond with a okay, which in turn will make me crazy. Like, I will kill you. No, I should not be saying that on YouTube. No, no, no. My channel isn't even started yet. Okay, but like, you know what I mean. You should just base your opinions of them on their actions and not their words, and treat them the same way they treat you, essentially, like an option. Treat them like an option. Have fun with them, sure, like you can have fun with anybody you want, but then just not become emotionally attached with them, and have a certain boundary in your head. 3 strikes and out is a rule that must be used in every area of your life, because that's what's gonna save you, especially for an empathic person. What happens is that sometimes when you realize that something is going wrong, you start to justify it, saying that, for example, that this is not something that you would want to partake in, but then you start feeling guilty inside. For me, there's an immense amount of guilt. Like, for example, did I not give them a fair chance? Did I not give them a fair opportunity? And then go back to them. So that's a cycle that you don't want to be in. So just do the 3 strikes and you're out rule, or maybe 2 strikes, whatever suits you, and then they're out, and then you don't talk to them. This is how you deal with any types of people who are confusing, who are gaslighting you, who are making you seem crazy, because more often than not your body is trying to tell you that something is seriously wrong. Like, something is wrong, bro. If you're having like shots of dopamine randomly without a sense of stability, something is seriously wrong, bro. And I have an hyperactive mind, so I will drive myself nuts trying to understand and trying to psychoanalysis their own personality rather than focusing on my own. So if you want to develop energetic boundaries with them, you should just do the 3 strikes and you're out rule.
I'm vibing, I'm chilling, I'm good, I'm kicking back and I'm vibing, I'm chilling, I'm good, I'm kicking back and I'm...
Second, and my personal favorite, being the understood friend. Now, who is an understood friend? Essentially, he or she is a therapist friend. Like, for example, you're just listening to everyone around you, but you cannot talk to them about your own opinions and your own dilemmas and your own anxieties and insecurities. Why? Let me tell you why. Because you don't feel safe with them. I have realized that recently, that the people I don't feel safe with, or my nervous system does not feel safe with, I will not talk to them about my own dilemmas, but I'll hear them out. I'll be the understood friend. I'll hear them talk, I'll hear them ramble for hours on end, and then in turn I'll just become emotionally exhausted because I did not get the reciprocal right. We all say that to love is to be unconditional, but I don't think anything is unconditional in this universe. You have to want something in return. It's the only thing that will base your friendship. Otherwise, you'll lose respect, or you'll just develop an inner resentment towards that person, which is not good. Trust me, it's not healthy. It's not good. It's toxic. And if you're someone like me who just keeps quiet until you blow up suddenly on that person, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, because you know what you're gonna do? A few minutes later, you're gonna realize that you blew up on them, and then you're gonna say sorry to them because you blew up and you know your faults, and then you're gonna again become resentful of them because they did not give you the appropriate response you wanted, and in turn they blamed you. So you don't want to do that. The thing with being the therapist friend is that you internally feel good while fixing someone. I have this problem of fixing people, and I want to add this in the understood friend criteria, that you cannot fix anyone. If it's just, you need to take this really seriously, because like I'm 19 now, and I have so much to do, and I cannot focus all of my energy into fixing someone. Usually what happens is that fixing something comes from an inner void, because for example, I have been in a rut, right, and I find someone who is intriguing enough to be able to entice me, and I want to fix them just because I have nothing going on in my own life. So the thing with being the understood friend is you need to have an inner circle and then an outer circle. In the inner circle, you're gonna have like 2 or 3 or even one person that you're really close with, and you can run to. Literally, you can call them up, you can run to them, and you can do whatever with those friends. And in the outer circle, you're gonna have people who are in the outer boundary, which in your mind, in your heart, that these are the people you can never be very close with, because you don't feel safe enough to talk to them. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep them in the outer circle. You're gonna hear them, you're gonna be whatever, but that's just gonna be some sort of a plaything. Like, wait, let me just think how to explain this. Those people are just gonna be your outer circle of friends. These are the kind of people you can hang out with, you can play with, you can do whatever, but you're gonna have an energetic boundary with them in place, because they're not your people, right? They're just people who are acquainted with you. Yes, okay, yes, that's what you're gonna do. Because honestly, it's exhausting. You cannot be a therapist to everyone in the world, because that's just an emotional outgiving, right? You're just giving everything in you to other people, and they're not reciprocating. One day the time will come that you're going to be so emotionally burnt out and resentful of people that you're going to hate yourself and the other people, and you don't want that with yourself. You really don't want that with yourself. So my advice is to just, like, for example, I journal. So I literally do the inner circle and outer circle, and that always plays in my head when I'm talking to people, that these are the kind of people who are in the outer circle of friends. So I do not have an energetic boundary with them now, because what you're doing, you're just playing. It's okay, it's just a play. This is not that serious. That's what's gonna get you out, because then you're not gonna be emotionally involved with other people. That's the best thing you can do. Not become emotionally involved with everything around you, not become involved with the noise around you, because that noise is gonna take you down with it, and you're gonna have no anchor. Third thing, and the least favorite thing, oh my god, I'm still struggling with this, is romanticizing potential. It's such a deep thing. I don't even know, like, how does that happen. Okay, so for example, I see someone, right? If I'm in a class and I see someone who is like who has straight A's, right? Who has straight A's, who is bantering with the teacher, who is fun to be around. Suddenly in my head, I'm literally writing a whole fucking fanfic of them. That's how bad I romanticize potential. I'm like, oh my god, what did they do if I did this or that? It's so bad. Like, oh my god, I hate it. I hate romanticizing potential. And the only way you can do is, again, base your delusion on their actions. Because honestly, more often than not, if you're romanticizing any sort of a person, they're gonna disappoint you. And it's sad, but the humans are not perfect, and your mind is gonna just make them perfect, and you're gonna see roses around them, you're gonna see them with your rose tinted glasses, and it's gonna be amazing. But as soon as your rose tinted glasses come down, you're gonna see them for who they are, which is an imperfect human being. They're not perfect, and more often than not, your idea of them is just very exaggerated, very aggravated, and it's not healthy, because you should start seeing you and them from a third POV. For example, if I'm 19, I'm just gonna see the other person as a 19-year-old boy who is not perfect. That's it. That's who he or she is. 19, 20, 21-year-old boy. And if you're younger, that's even better. He's a 16-year-old boy or girl, whatever. And you shouldn't be so harsh on yourself and them as well, because at the end of the day, they're an imperfect human being, and you are an imperfect human being, and nothing about you is perfect, and nothing about them is perfect. So what you should do, again, base them on their actions, and you're gonna gradually become disappointed in them. But then, if for example, if a person is actually nice but they're not the romanticized potential in your head, that's when you decide that do you want them for who they are, or do you want just a version of them that is not gonna come true ever in your life. That's what helps me right now, because I tend to just see them as who they are, rather than what I think of them as. That's how you're gonna deal with them. It's honestly really sad, because I think of that as something which is again from an inner void. For example, I usually like people who are highly intelligent, who are highly uh, I don't know how to say this. I usually like people who are very intelligent, who are great at speaking to people, who are charming, who are, very good looking, because that's all the things I associate myself with. So basically, what you're doing is you're mirroring your own reflection on them. But what you should do is instead turn off your focus to yourself instead of them, because that's how you grow up and that's how you glow up essentially, when you start focusing on yourself, on your own things, rather than the romanticized potential of who they are. Yes, advice tea, bro. Like I'm serving tea at 9 a.m. right now. Fourth and my least favorite one is overthinking. Now, a lot of people hate overthinking. I hate overthinking. You hate overthinking. Everyone hates overthinking. Boo hoo overthinking. But a lot of people, what do? Is that they think overthinking is intuition. But it is not. It is actually really not. And I'm also trying to practice intuition instead of overthinking. And I'm going to tell you how. For example, I was looking for applying to a lot of places around the world, and my dad suggested Germany because it has low cost benefits and whatever. But something in my mind knew that I did not want to go to Germany because I don't feel called to that place or whatever. And I did not act on it. I was just like, okay, if it's low cost benefit, if it reflects my family, I won't go, whatever. But then it just kept revolving in my head that this is not the place I belong. This is not the place where I belong. So that's an intuition, right? What would be overthinking? Overthinking would be when you are constantly in a state of hypervigilance. That's not intuition. An intuition will be more of a gentle thought and a straight thought. It would just be straight to the point that this person, this place, whatever it is, it's not for you and you should get out. That's it. For example, if you're in a club and it's all dark around you and you suddenly feel this thought in your head that something is wrong, get out. Literally get out. Overthinking, it's just gonna make things worse because you're gonna stay rooted in the spot and stay rooted in the same thought. You're gonna revolve around it and the time is gonna pass, bro. Like honestly, but my advice would be, if you have anxiety issues, if you have hypervigilance issues, if you are suffering with depression, you should just not trust your mind at that moment. As sad as it sounds, you should not trust your mind. You should instead base everything on facts, lay out everything on a piece of paper, and then make a decision. The pro and cons thing, you should do that. Pros and cons. What was it? I can't remember. Pros and cons, I think, yeah. Pros and cons, whatever. You're gonna make a table and then you make a decision on that, because otherwise things can get really rough, and I don't want that for you, because it's not a good place to be in, and you should trust everything based on facts at that moment of time. And when you get better and figuring out on your own what is your gut feeling and what is not, you're gonna gradually come to a point that's gonna make you know that this is okay, this is intuition, and this is where I'm overthinking. So that's how I advise for the fourth thing. Fifth is honestly like soul crushing as per usual. It is literally low maintenance. Like, bro, I don't know why was I romanticizing myself as being low maintenance. Like, oh my god, I need to fuck off, because I literally said to one person that, oh my god, I'm not into flowers or like cafe dates. I only like books, which is kind of true. Okay, I really love books and all of that, but it just came out wrong. Okay, like, I shouldn't have said that I don't like all of that and I only like this. I should have begun with a simple sentence that this is my preference, and it's really not about the flowers you bring, it is about the intent behind it. But obviously, like a dumbass, I was pretending to be a chill girl. Like, I'm a chill girl. I don't make boys work hard. What is working hard? Why would you chase me? What is there to chase me, right? What is there to chase me? I'm very embarrassed, but it is okay. I was a 16-year-old. I was a naive 16-year-old. It is okay, whatever. But being low maintenance is just not a good thing, because sometimes being chill it's making you tolerate things that you shouldn't. I don't think chill should be a word associated with being in a relationship, because being chill is not a good thing, right? Don't be chill. Be a bitch. Don't be a chill person. Be a bitch. Like, whoever you are, girl or boy, be a bitch. Be a fucking bitch. Stand firm on your standards, even though it's lonely, bitch. I know it's lonely as fuck. I know it's lonely, but just be a bitch and be particular about standards. For example, the other day someone called me fat. I ghosted them for a week until they said sorry, and I was like, bro, you ain't calling me fat again, because that's something I do not tolerate. Being chill just means that you're gonna be like, haha, I'm not fat, it's I'm okay, you don't want that. Just be a bitch, because you know what, like Mother Taylor said. No, honestly, no, but I was about to say, boys only like love when it's torture. I mean, boys only want love when it's torture, whatever the lyrics were. But no, you shouldn't torture the other person. You should just stand firm in your own boundaries and not let anyone trespass them just because you like them too much. More, it's just a thing, right? When you like someone, you want them to like you as well, and you're gonna tolerate whatever they give at you and give to you, and it's sad. Honestly, like everything which I said above it's just sad, but honestly, you don't want to get sadder, so let's just not be a chill person. Let's just all be a bitch collectively and stand firm in our boundaries, and not just be someone who people can walk all over, because that's gonna again make you resentful, and it's gonna make you unhappy, it's gonna make you depressed, because you know what you want and the other person is not giving it to you. So one day the time comes, you're gonna burst at them, and it's gonna be your fault, because they showed you what they wanted, right? They showed you what they were, and then you just tolerated it, so it's your fault. If I'm being frank, and it's really hard because it's so complicated, but it's gonna be your fault because you tolerated that shit, and you shouldn't be tolerating whatever other person throws at you, because you're a person, you're a human being, and you deserve happiness. You're not meant for tolerating other people's bullshit. That's it. That's how you stop the low maintenance problem. Yes. My phone just turned off, so that's a cue for me to sign out as well. For the outro, I'm just gonna say that the things you once thought were beautiful were only so because you were lonely, attached, and depressed, and you were trying too hard to understand them, which you shouldn't be doing. And I trust you enough to not do that again, because I love you lots, and just say whatever you feel like I should talk about. I'll do so, because I really want to talk about whatever I feel and whatever you guys feel. I love you lots, like jelly dots. Bye.